Hit it, maestro.
Today we are already on the threshold of conquering our galaxy, and as we just discussed tomorrow, considering the conquest of the universe. And yet man seems to ignore the fact that on this very planet there are still people living in the Stone Age and practicing
So I met you at the Apple Store. This is about 10 years ago. We were doing these classes, the one-on-one training.
Tell them what time I would get there in the morning.
Yeah, we got there at, didn't we get there at 7 in the morning?
7 in the morning. So what time do you think I had to get up, get breakfast, shower, shave, dress, and you were an hour away on the bus.
Yeah.
I would get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to
4 a.m.
Tell you, these classes, these one-on-one classes was a wake up. It was like, and here's the secret I've got to say. So I'd get there at 4 and I would leave. And this happened for around 5 years. Whenever I would leave, I would be controlling the weather from time to time. I really had a strong grip on the weather. And I would see the clouds. They would come around. They would try and sneak in the building. The clouds would.
Wow.
Really, that was tremendous to see. And I would know what they were doing. So you think things are not intelligent? Like, that's not intelligent? Everything is massively intelligent.
Everything is intelligent. Everything. The walls that Sharam's sitting on, the walls behind you right now. Yeah.
And people put names on things, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Like Betsy's my car.
Betsy's your car. Yeah. What kind of car do you have?
I don't have a car, but I'm just using an example.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Walt Disney, in some of his movies, he would, especially the cartoons, I think in Alice in Wonderland, isn't it displayed a little? The poker cards become soldiers and they're dancing like this through the forest.
Right. The personification and all that. Yeah, it's all over Disney, you know? So everything's intelligent, you were saying.
Yeah.
Right?
And those clouds, they were definitely wanted to know what was happening in that computer room with us and how it could be used. A very useful building. That Beverly Center, fantastic to control the weather and graph.
There's something about it in particular that it could harness. It could control the weather itself, or is this something?
It could harness the clouds to make the weather. Through the Apple Store, especially because the Apple Store is the most intelligent store in the building. What else was in there? Clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening on these new programs, so I needed that one-on-one class from time to time desperately.
Because, like you said, you know, it gives everybody the ability to, you know, get themselves out there. You know,
get their brain ticking.
How long have you been in LA?
Since 1978.
And you moved from
Memphis. I was born. I lived there for 5 years, and we moved to a sorghum plantation in Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
I had 7 older sisters, people from Memphis. Elvis had a gang. They played touch football. They would come down there and try and date my sisters, sneak them out the windows on Saturday night. And he would go around and buy stuff, even if it was stolen. And somebody stole the Liberty Bell out of it. He had it hanging on when you came into his plantation, you know, and the Liberty Bell was right here. And he would shoot that Liberty Bell with a 10-gauge shotgun out the window.
And where did the Liberty Bell come from?
The Library of Congress, they stole it.
Library of Congress. Oh, yeah. Wow.
That's pretty insane. He went all over the world. He would buy stuff. Secret Service agents were coming down there. They gave him a bounty, and he gave it back to him.
How has it been in the last 10 years, would you say, like doing comedy in LA?
With Tim and Eric is where I made the money. The rest of it was just charity.
So you got into Tim and Eric doing some voiceover stuff. Is that right?
The first contract I had was for 15 minutes. I made $750.
I used to see those guys around. I used to see them at the Grove and at the Glendale Galleria, those places. And were you in the $1 Billion Movie as well?
Yes, I was in it.
I remember you in that movie. I've never seen Beef House, but I actually saw some clips of it. That show's pretty funny. Now, do you play yourself in that show, right?
Yes.
You're more of like a spiritual kind of guy, right?
You know why they did that?
Why is that?
It's because at 4 years old, when I was 4 years old, I got a ESP message and a physical experience that I would control the weather. And,
Really?
and that I should control. The exact message was, you are now in control of the weather. It was cut and dry, nothing else. What kind of education do you have? At 4 years old, I can. I can do all kinds of stuff. You know how you have to go through interviews to get important things to do. Well, the value of that is now a multi-trillion-dollar profit and loss situation. And I'm struggling around trying to get recognition and a collection for the work that I've already done.
You have some patents, is it? Or systems that can control the weather? Tell me more about whatever you can tell me. I don't know if you want to divulge too much here, but
Right. Since I'm 72 years old, it's a lot. I can only say a few things. But I just met Jimmy Gomez, our congressman, and when he gives a speech, afterwards he allows people to shake his hand and say a few words. I says, I wrote this screenplay called The Wind and the Rain. It's on my website. And I gave him a business card when I told him that. So he's shaking my hand, taking the business card in one hand. He's looking at the business card and looking at me. He says, you control the weather? Yes. The screenplay is The Wind and the Rain. And it's on my website, TennesseeLuke.com, which I made. I made the website. I wrote the screenplay and I put it on there. And I encourage you to read it because we need more people to be aware they have the ability to control the weather. Nobody thinks they do. And even back to the caveman days. First time a story comes up, what does the caveman do? He rolls a rock in front of the cave and forgets about it. There are a few organizations that are making good money by controlling the weather and are subsidized by different people and themselves. My idea how it would be subsidized, since I was in the military when the Vietnam War was going on, I asked for a promotion like a 4-star general, even though doing the work of a 5-star. I don't have a medical degree, but the work I'm doing is highly medicine. And so I asked for a 4-star. And I put that on Mr. Gomez. He has his forms you fill out too. So I filled out the form and everything. And then I'm submitting now to the public. How many views you're going to get, I don't know. But I'm trying to make myself famous. I was in the Cardi B official music video as a witness.
Is that right?
And that got close to 1 billion hits.
Yeah. Wow. And which tune was that for? Which song?
Cardi B's official music video is how you put it in YouTube. And then you look which one is she going to court about. I'm one of the witnesses.
I see. Okay. So in that video, so you're one of the witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's incredible. If I can find that, I'll put that in the show notes then,
All right. I'll send you a link to that.
Yeah. And by the way, any links you have, doesn't matter how many, you can send them to me and then I'll put those in the notes.
You've heard love makes the world go round?
No. Well, it, Of course, love does make the world go round, but are you referring to
No, I'm referring to that. Love makes the world go round. So while I was trying to promote myself to get this ultimate idea across, and since my degree is in theater arts, to become a movie star, because that's right at the top, right beside the Pentagon is the movie industry. That's how the food chain goes down like that. And so to promote my idea totally is to become a movie star. I wrote the screenplay and want to star in it. I write music and put music in there. So I'll send you a song and you can play that for your people. And besides being an original song, this is kind of borderline. You're controlling the weather, borderline, you're not controlling the weather.
I see
I'm
what
kind
you're
of
doing.
on the
Yeah.
borderline of space.
I also stumbled upon a video called Play Detective. And the one that goes, everybody knows I like to play detective. But tell me about what's going on in that video.
Whenever I was going through college, I was thinking of what I wanted to do as a famous actor because they accumulate a lot of money. You can complete your dreams. And I thought I'd have a detective agency. Really. I was thinking I would have a travel agency because my minor degree is in travel industry. And I would have a detective agency and a production company.
Wow, you wear many hats. That's pretty cool. So your website is a true gem of the internet. It almost harkens back to the old days of GeoCities or Lycos, or your website reminds me of one of those, and it's really it's refreshing actually going on it. I like it. I like exploring your website a lot. There's a lot on there.
Because it has all those inventions on it.
That's right. That's right. So one of the inventions that stood out to me, the skateboard computer car. What is that all about?
And now they got skateboards all over the city. That's what I was going to have. And well, mine was a little more elaborate though. You would
Okay,
you would like type in the address that you wanted to, and it would take you right away like a, a robot car.
I see.
And they may advance to that. And then they also will probably, I'm telling you how it's going to be in the future. Now, that's what a
Right.
psychic does. A psychic first controls the weather, and then he tells you what's going to happen. Well, you'll just get in your little skateboard thing, have a little seat there with a little bag if you need a bag or something, and just type in where you want to go. And it won't even go on the street. It'll be like the street will be here, and you'll be gliding along like that too.
It's almost like the best parts of Back to the Future in one. It's like a hoverboard, but it's also like a DeLorean, right?
Okay, so how are you going to do that? With magnets. Magnets will take you there, and that's how it'll take you there fast and cheap. You won't have to plug in, be all magnet.
No.
It'll be like
Yeah.
you'll have one little atomic magnet, but that'll be it. You won't have to plug it in all the time, and it'll just
Right.
wherever you want to go all the time.
So you're like a futurist. You're like Ray Kurzweil. Do you know that guy?
But I like the watch. You told you what you like. I like the watch. And
The
my
watch?
inventions. I have an invention. The watch.
Do you really? Because is it a wristwatch that you've designed, or
Right.
what does that do?
Now, the reason I invented this wristwatch, and you don't see a wristwatch on me, is because they hurt. And this one will expand and it will contract as you move. So when you move like that, it won't cut into you.
Wow, that's
Oh,
actually a main problem I have.
it's because people are taking off their watch to go to bed and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll like this watch. This watch will take care of you as you move, as you sleep. Anyone tries to lie to you, it will kind of give you a little thing like that. So somebody's telling you a lie.
Really? So someone's telling you a lie, your watch will give you a little jolt of feedback. You'll feel it on your wrist.
But you won't be able to see it.
Right. And they won't be able to tell either.
No, they'll just do a little thing like that.
Wow.
And it's fully scuba for everything, even deep dives. And
Wow. So it's rated for scuba diving.
And airplanes. You know how they need
and aviation.
So
Wow.
aviation, airplane. And
How
so
about the moon? Can it go to the moon?
go to the moon, right, all the way. Covers all the athletic stuff for stopwatches and stuff like that. So that's about it.
Does it have a round dial like your normal watch, or is it digital? Or tell me more about the display.
The display is like television set, square.
I see.
Be like a square, and you can change it to digital, or you can see because people sometimes they need to see the thing. Did you know? Do you ever need to see the thing go around
The round,
the second?
the analog watch display? Absolutely. That's the reason I got rid of an Apple Watch a couple of years ago, and I started collecting watches, and I'm obsessed. And I can only wear the round one now because there's something about it. There's just something about it.
Here's why I need to. I'm practicing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
standing on one leg, right? So
Okay.
I need to see that thing go around to see how long I'm standing on one leg. Now this is in yoga, and
I see what you're saying.
it's also in martial arts, attack. So
Right.
I need to see the round thing. So you could go either way.
It sounds like an Apple Watch, but way cooler. I mean,
Well, I took one-on-one classes for 5 years at the Apple Store.
now what is the professional touch system? How
Oh,
does that work?
all right. I almost sold this recently.
Really?
$5 million, cut and dry. I was just going to sell the thing. It's on my
Wow.
website on the Billiard, and you'll see where I have everything copyrighted in the Library of Congress. And you are shooting billiards, pocket pull, and
Mm-hmm.
you break, all the balls go on the table, and you mark each ball and the cue ball with a little marker. And after you make the ball, you want the cue ball in a certain location. So there's a marker for that location. Anytime you make a mistake, you can bring this all back together until you get your cue ball where it wants to stop and the ball in the pocket that you want. Now that's called the
Wow.
marker system. Now,
Okay.
the professional touch is a game. The way that works is each player shoots. He has to say which pocket his ball is going to go into, and he has to have
Okay.
good shapes for the next ball he intends to make in a certain pocket. If he
Okay.
doesn't make both of those, he loses his turn. He loses his turn in the next player until he can make the ball that he wants and put the cue ball in the spot that he wants for the next ball. Now that's the ultimate pool player. And it goes down from that. Say he doesn't have to make the ball that he's shooting, but he has to get the ball to the location he wants for the next ball. You can lessen the rules as it goes down so a novice can play. He can place the ball where he wants and shoot a ball as long as he makes that ball for the next bucket. That would be
Okay.
like a first time player, right?
Wow. So it's a way for a first time player to basically
Or the
clean
elite
it up.
or the elite guy. Now that's how
Wow.
an elite guy becomes an elite. When he's practicing, he doesn't shoot hard shots. He shoots soft, easy shots all the time. For about half an hour, he shoots easy shots. And then when he gets on the table in competition, he's built up. His muscles are all built up that he's never
Wow.
really not making a ball. So he's making balls that he wouldn't have made at all.
What kind of yoga do you do? You mentioned you do yoga. Is that what kind of stuff do you do?
I do the strongest yoga in the world. It's over hatha yoga.
Hatha yoga.
It's called Krishna yoga.
Krishna yoga.
It's over hatha. Now,
Which is physical yoga. Am I correct on that?
yes, it's physical and it allows you to be an avatar for magical stunts. Like this is kind of a magical thing. Me control the weather. I do this yoga. I will teach you how to do it. And if you want to do it, you can become an avatar with me. Would you like to learn?
Yeah, I would. How does that work?
Okay, I'm going to teach you right now. First, I want you to breathe in with your nose and concentrate on the air going into your brain.
Okay.
At that time, you got to let out and breathe in again. So, as I'm explaining, just do as I say. So, you're breathing in and out through your nose. As you breathe in, physically, you concentrate mentally on breathing out. So, the air is going in here and out like that. In your brain, it's going out. In your physical life, it's going in. Then, when you breathe out, you concentrate with your brain, you're breathing in. So you're getting oxygen both ways all over your system. And it allows your brain to become an avatar, to do magical things like Jesus Christ did. You know how you go around heal
Wow.
people? Well, he did this through his gift. And Jesus would go to the desert and stay there for a long time. I
Mm.
mean, like eons. And then he would come out and boom, he would hit you with that desert energy and it would heal you just like that. But he was also
Yeah.
the Son of God, and we have faith. So he was using
Right.
all of this together. I'm just telling you how to do yoga that will build you up physically like an avatar. Now, when you get in heaven, you've been doing this yoga. Oh, wow, man,
Hmm.
you're really, you got the click. Now, the main way to leave your body on that trip, there's a astral
Hmm.
body above you that's guiding your.
Right. The astral plane above the physical plane. Yeah.
So I studied all these yoga and things when I was at the University of Hawaii. That's all they do is have all kinds of mind expansion episodes for you to study with students and stuff. After I graduated from college, I came over here. I went through different schools. Corey Feldman's father.
Okay.
Okay, I spent about a year with him. Robert Franklin Lemaire, I spent a half a year with him. Farrah Fawcett's brother, I spent about half a year with him. So when I say actor extraordinaire, that means I don't have to list all the different things I can do.
I see.
Jack of trades, it's a way of saying I'm a jack of trades.
Jack of trades. That's right. So you're a SAG-AFTRA actor. When did you join SAG? That's another question I had.
That was kind of stupid about that. I could have joined AFTRA when I first got here from the University of Hawaii because I had all this money saved up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And all they took was around $750 to join AFTRA. I got lucky. I put an ad in the newspaper to work as a gardener because I had read what other movie stars had done to try, and you needed a second job. And Carol Ryder, he was the astrologer for LA Times, hired me in his home on Hollywood Way, right off of Hollywood Boulevard. Have you ever been up there to Waddles Park?
I don't think I've been up there. No. So off of Hollywood Boulevard and is this near like La Brea or?
Just past La Brea, how you're going
Oh,
around the hills to Fairfax.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know that drive.
And there's an orchard. You know where that orchard is on the right? Well, he lived right up there on the left of the orchard.
Wow.
And the Waddles Park was right next door. Sister was a billionaire, 5-star generals in the Army. And he hired me as his gardener. And he did astrology classes on Tuesday. Oh, he was very intelligent. In his front living room, he had pictures of him with movie stars all over everywhere. Big
Wow.
by tens too. And everybody loved him. He's very intelligent. He trained me everything about, I got a golden star for astrology. He had this huge, you see the top of the ceiling? 5 times the top of the ceiling. It was an iron cage for eagles. Swimming pool in his backyard.
Wow.
Took care of all the gardens and stuff. So that's where I met all of these most famous people in the world. John Wayne Susanna Kim, Mike Mazurki, 77 Gunset Strip, and the guy, Cookie? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the stars, the singing stars, all the most famous people, they were all in their 90s, and they had around 10 clubs, and they were all charity clubs. So you could get in there for $20 a year. And they would have all kinds of banquets and stuff. And I got in about 15 clubs. Every penny I had, I spent every year going to these dinners and stuff.
And that's where you met all these famous people. Wow. That's pretty cool.
I was walking around the Oscars, and I would dress in a tuxedo because this guy who ran the gold mines in geology for Los Angeles, he encouraged me, do that. I was always doing whatever they said. You asked me how I joined AFTRA. Well, all these clubs, when I went to these clubs, they told me, go join AFTRA. Told me, dress in your tuxedo, buy a tuxedo, and walk around the Oscars and try and get in, get a date.
Right.
Some of these, did you Marilyn Monroe? She was like crying tears. She didn't have a boyfriend. All she had was a case of beer for the next show. They finally cut off her money because they knew she was somebody who could control the weather.
She was another one.
She was another one who did. President Nixon was another one. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was a goddess at controlling the weather. It's very destructive. Like I said, it's a multi-trillion-dollar profit. However, it's not all profit. It's minus. And so they were paying her off a lot in drugs to perform before it was over, before she died.
Yeah.
So
I heard about that.
She got hit real hard like that. It's also a jealous thing. So I try and go to church, be a good boy. You have to be very collective to keep living and playing ball. Just singing jazz is also got a lot of vices, but I sing a lot of jazz. What I'm trying to do is build character in whatever I do. Build character. So the guys who picked me up whenever I was walking around the Oscars, it was Bad Weather Productions. And Bad Weather Productions, that kind of sounds like me controlling the weather. So that interests me. And they're highly trained scientists in sound and film. So they kind of trapped me there for a number of years. And now I'm in their movie, Bigfoot.
Wow. So is that movie out yet, or does that come out?
Yes, you can buy it. You can buy it right now at iTunes.
Oh, okay.
Guys, this is how I practice singing with the television mirror. The reason do you know what this is?
What's that?
It's a television mirror. That's the name.
Oh.
You've never heard of it? Television mirror?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know what that is.
That's the definition of it. And it's to train actors.
Okay.
So whenever I practice, I'm looking at my television mirror. Can you?
Oh, yeah, I can see now. Yeah. People listening, it's a mirror that's how wide is that? About 6 inches wide? That's about 10 inches wide.
You see my face? When do you see my face?
Yeah, right there. That looks like you on TV.
Yeah, that's
that's the point. Yeah, so we got trained in Krishna yoga.
Krishna yoga, that's the highest on the planet. There's no other higher than Krishna yoga.
You can't go higher than that.
No, because it trains you to be an avatar.
That's right.
That's the reason.
We got trained in
acting,
the television mirror.
Yes. All forms, whether it's your lines, your singing, or whatever. That's a very important tool.
We'll have a link to that video in the show notes. Also have a link to Bigfoot Famous in the show notes as well. Any other projects, or is there a podcast from Tennessee Luke coming out anytime soon?
There is some other stuff in the can, but
okay,
it's coming. I'm writing this screenplay about an idea to squash something, just squeeze it and destroy it. Do you know what it is?
What's that?
Think for a minute. You're a pretty smart guy.
Traffic?
No, yeah, but that's a good idea because traffic. Oh, wow, that's
You got me.
okay. It's called COVID. To kill
COVID. So
Yeah,
you have a plan to squash
COVID.
the big bad. Wow. One other thing, could you say, hi, this is Tennessee Luke, and you were listening to the Danny Fluck Show?
Hi, this is Tennessee Luke, and you're listening to the Danny Fluck Show.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'll edit that in, and you got my PayPal, right?